7 Navy SEALs, including one from the mission that killed Osama bin Laden, have been disciplined for serving as advisors on a new video game.
The Navy says those SEALs reveal classified information. Senior correspondent John Miller, former Assistant Director of National Intelligence, is here. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually an outgrowth of the Mark Owen story. We remember Mark
that,
Owen was the Navy SEAL who wrote the book No Easy Day about being on the bin Laden raid. And as they were looking into his book deal, the money, whether he violated the non-disclosure agreements he signed, what they ended up learning was that 11 Navy SEALs had been brought in allegedly by Owen into this deal with a video company for the production of Medal of Honor Warfighter, which is a kind of a Navy SEALs-based video game. And once again, according to our sources, there was no notification of their commanding officer, no waivers signed, none of that. None of the boxes had been checked. So now 7 of them have letters of reprimand, which is a non-judicial finding, but it's a bit of a career killer.
But how do I know, John, if I'm a gamer and I'm playing this game, that I'm looking at classified information or just looking at a good move?
Well,
how do I know that?
You don't, but when they frame the game as this game was put together by former Navy SEALs and active duty Navy SEALs based on real Navy SEAL tactics. So let's stretch that. I mean, the idea is if you are a terrorist or a Somali pirate, what you're looking for is TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures. What do the real war fighters do? What tricks do they use? How do they work? And I guess if you stretch it there, you could say if you played that video game enough based on real Navy SEALs knowledge, you could learn to counter some of those TTPs.
So is Mark Owens in trouble?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so Mark Owen is already in trouble. To the extent he's not a SEAL anymore, there's not much they can do to him. To the extent that he did sign 2 non-disclosure agreements, just like all these other SEALs, these 7 who are in this hot water, they sent him a letter saying, we may try to seize all that money. Because when you sign that deal, it says you assign all that money to the government. But we're still waiting to see what happens next there.
So people are saying that all this good publicity is actually very bad for the SEALs, because back in the day, we didn't even know who the Navy SEALs were or what they really did.
Right, and no one had ever heard of the now legendary SEAL Team 6 that went on the bin Laden raid. So the special operations community looks at this as too much of a good thing, which is you do a movie like Medal of Valor where it was all approved by the Navy, every word and line of the script was vetted and said these are things that are safe to say. That they consider a great recruiting tool. Admiral McCraven, a SEAL himself who runs Special Ops, says, if I hadn't seen John Wayne in the Green Beret, I wouldn't have gone to Special Forces. But they say when people are doing this on their own, not checking the boxes, not telling their commanding officer, and not allowing the Navy to exercise any judgment on it, or the Special Forces community, this is where they're running into the Facebook generation. They're used to living out loud. They're used to talking as individuals. They're used to it being all about me, and that's a conflict. It's
and
growing.
Catherine Bigelow's movie is still to come.
That's right, and you know that will now that the political aspect of it is simmered down, that'll still stir controversy.
Thank you, John.